Good morning, students. Welcome to St. Michael's Academy, Betia's e-learning class of English of Standard 2. Children, today we will start our next chapter, chapter 2. The title of our chapter is Grandpa Farouk Garden. Children, Grandpa is the most respected and very lovable person in our family. We all respect him a lot, and he too loves and cares for us wholeheartedly. Children, our today's chapter is also related with grandpa, grandson, and their garden. Children, before starting our chapter, let's have a look on our story writer Matthew Callell. Matthew Callell is a writer, director, and script editor. He has written and co-written over 40 produced TV shows and has received grant development, funding, and awards for his work. Since receiving his MA in screenwriting, he has been teaching, writing, and monitoring students for close to 20 years. My dear students, now let's move towards our chapter. Grandpa Farouk Garden. Grandpa Farouk Garden was Amir's favorite place. Amir loved the fruits, the leaves, the flowers, and the trees there. He also loved spending time with Grandpa. They worked together in the garden every week. When they finished, they enjoyed the fresh fruit from the garden. Children, this paragraph tells about Amir's favorite place, and that is Farouk Garden. Amir loved the fruits, the leaves, the flowers, and the trees there. Children, as we know that we all love garden. Garden is so beautiful. We can see the natural beauty there. He also loved spending time with Grandpa. Children, we too love to spend our time with Grandpa, our Grandma, for listening the stories, for our funny talks, and so on. They walked together in the garden every week. Children, who walked together in the garden every week? Very good, Grandpa and Amir. When they finished their gardening, they used to enjoy the fresh fruit from the garden. They used to eat the fresh fruit of the garden. Did you understand, children? Very good. Now let's move towards our next paragraph. One day, Grandpa was very quiet. He walked in the garden without saying a word. They plucked fresh fruit, but Grandpa didn't eat any. In this paragraph, it is telling that one day Grandpa was very quiet. He walked in the garden without saying a word. Even when he was doing gardening, he was not talking to Amit also. He was very quiet, he was very sad. Likewise, every day, as they used to pluck the fruit and enjoy the fresh fruit after finishing the gardening, on that day also they plucked the fresh fruit, but Grandpa didn't eat any. On that day, Grandpa didn't eat the fruit. Children, now let's move towards our next paragraph to know why Grandpa has not eaten that fruit. What's wrong, Grandpa? Asked Amir. My garden is dying, Amir, replied Grandpa. Why do you think so? Asked Amir. Children, it is very common that whenever we see our grandpa, our grandma, or our parents, or our brother, sister, anyone that they are sad, we used to ask them that why you are sad. In the same way, Amir, when looked upon his grandpa, he was very sad, and then Amir asked the reason why grandpa was sad. He asked him that what's wrong, Grandpa? Why are you sad? Then Grandpa has replied that Amir, my garden is dying. What dying here means? It means becoming smaller, weaker. Grandpa told to Amir that his garden is becoming smaller, weaker. It is drying up. After listening this, Amir asked to Grandpa that why do you think so? That our garden is becoming smaller, weaker, or it is drying up. Now let's see why Grandpa has told so. Look closely, said Grandpa. Some pests are eating the plants. Amir looked at the leaves of that plant nearby. Half the leaves had been chewed off. When Amir told to Grandpa that why do you think so? And what Grandpa has told? Look closely. There are some pests eating the plants. Grandpa want to tell to Amir that look carefully on the plants. There are some pests. Pests means small insect which are eating that plants. Very good. Amir looked at the leaves of the plants nearby. Half the leaves had been chewed off. Now Amir started looking very carefully towards the leaf which are near to him, and what he saw? That half of the leaves had been chewed off by that small insects, by that pests. Now the next paragraph. Can't we do something to stop this? Asked Amir. We need ladybirds, said Grandpa. They are very useful bugs. They can eat these pests and save my garden. But where will I find them? Don't worry, Grandpa. I will bring you a bug or two, said Amir. Now, when Amir saw that pests have eaten that plants, that leaves, he asked to his grandpa that can't we do something to stop this? Then what Grandpa has told? We need ladybirds. Ladybirds means that it is one type of insect which are small, round, and red or orange, black spots are there on the body. So Grandpa is telling that we need ladybirds to save our garden, and he is also telling that it is very useful bugs. Bugs means a small insect. They can eat this pest and save my garden. But Grandpa is very tensed that from where he will find them. Then Amit is telling to Grandpa that you don't worry, I will bring for you one bug or two bug. Now let's move towards our next paragraph to see what Amir is doing to bring that bug. Amir went home and began to look for ladybirds everywhere. On the second day, he found two ladybirds while walking home from school. They were in the grass growing by the side of the road. He carefully picked them up and brought them home. After listening all the problems of his grandpa, Amir went home and began to look for ladybirds everywhere. On the second day, when he was coming back from school to his home, what he saw? He saw two of the ladybirds were sitting near the side of a road on a grass. He carefully picked them up and brought them to his home. Now come to the next paragraph to see what Amir did with that ladybirds. Amir put small leaves and twigs at the bottom of a big plastic box. Then he gently placed the ladybirds inside. He kept some food and water for them in the box. To keep safely that ladybirds, Amir bought a big plastic box and he put small leaves and twigs at the bottom of that plastic box. Twigs means children small and thin branches of a tree. What he has done? He has put that leaves and twigs in the big plastic box. Then he gently placed the ladybirds inside. And after that, he has kept that ladybirds inside that plastic box. He kept some food and water for them in the box. He also kept some food and water for them to eat and drink. Now, children, let's move towards our next paragraph to know what had happened the next. The next day, Amir looked for bugs around the football field. He found 3 of them sitting on one leaf. Come with me, little ladybirds. We have to help Grandpa, he said carefully, picking them up. The next day, when Amir went to the football field for the ladybirds, he saw 3 of them were sitting on one leaf. He found 3 of the ladybirds in football field. After looking at them, he told, "Come with me, little ladybirds. We have to help Grandpa." This he was telling with himself, and very carefully he picked them up and brought to his home. 2 days later, Amir found 4 more at the park. He picked them up and ran home. Now his box had 9 ladybirds. After 2 days, when Amir went to the park, he saw 4 of the ladybirds were there. He picked them up and ran home. Now his box had 9 ladybirds. Now altogether he has collected 9 ladybirds. Now let's move towards our next paragraph to see what next morning holds. The next morning, Amir went straight to Grandpa Farouk's house. With a big smile on his face, he showed Grandpa the box with the ladybirds. Grandpa couldn't believe it. "You have done well. Oh, my boy, you have done so well," Grandpa said with a tear in his eyes. Next morning, after collecting the 9 ladybirds, Amir directly went to his grandpa, Miss Farouk's house, and there was a big smile on his face. He showed all that ladybirds which he has collected to his grandpa. Grandpa, after seeing that, became very happy. He told to Amir that, "I couldn't believe this. You have done very well, my boy." He was very happy to see that all 9 ladybirds. While he was telling that, the tears come in his eyes. Children, as we know that when we are so happy, the tear of happiness just come into our eyes automatically. In the same way, when Amir shows that ladybirds to his grandpa, he has also become so happy. Children, now let's move towards our last paragraph to know what happened in the last. Children, this story is very interesting. I think you all have understood. Amir and Grandpa opened the box in the garden and let the ladybirds out. The ladybirds liked their new home. They had many pests to eat there. From that day on, Grandpa Farouk garden did what gardens should do. It grew and grew and grew. Children, so happily, Amir and Grandpa opened the box and made ladybirds free in his garden. The ladybirds were so happy that they had got a new home. They had many pests to eat there. There were so many pests, so many small insects present on the leaves, on the branches, on small grasses. By seeing this pest, that ladybird became so happy that it seems that there is a party for them. And from that day on, Grandpa Farouk garden did what garden should do. By using these ladybirds, Grandpa and Amir, his grandson, saved their garden, and now their garden was glowing. Everywhere there was greenery. The garden was looking so beautiful. It seems that the leaves, the trees, the flowers, and the small grasses all were very happy. Children, I think you all have understood the chapter well. Children, now I am giving you some homework. Your homework is that you go throughout the chapter again. Children, I think you all have understood the chapter well. Thank you.